Oops, I seem to have pressed the red button again.
Oh,
you pressed it again.
I pressed it again. So we are here today. This is actually part 2, or the second version of Disney with Friends, because we enjoyed Disney with Friends, the first batch, so much, we decided to do a Disney and do a sequel.
Disney with no friends.
So this is Disney with no friends. So again, this has been recorded in the Santa Fe Hotel, live from Disneyland Paris, although of course it's not going to be live because I'm pre-recording it and then I'm going to edit it and it's going to come in the podcast. And hopefully it was last week's podcast that you listened to, which was part 1. Although when we recorded part 1, we didn't know we were going to do part 2. All very confusing. Today, who do we have here?
It's the sequel. We have me, addicted to Disney Kaz. We've got Mr. Disney.
That's me.
We've got Rachel. Say hi.
Hi.
And we've got Ian again.
Again,
Complete with the cherry bakewells.
I have got a cherry bakewell.
He has.
They've agreed to do a podcast and we said, that's fine. Our fee is cherry bakewells.
Oh, yes.
That's a good fee.
The question is, does he also have tea?
Yes.
I'm not allowed to drink tea while doing podcasts anymore because I slurp.
Yes, if you listen to last week's podcast, you will find that there was a slurp.
The incident we now refer to.
The instant we refer to as Ian drinking tea. Anyway, we're going to talk about...
Uh-oh, he's got a list.
I have a list. Yeah, I always have a list.
Watch out, guys. Here comes the list. If your name's not on the list,
If your name's not on the list, you're not coming in.
Nope.
got his magic list out again. It's always worrying when he has a list. I don't know if it's a good list or bad list today.
Is it related to the list that you have all the things you should be buying at Disney?
It's getting smaller.
It doesn't. It gets bigger each day.
That's a long list.
Anyway, first thing on my list is park tips. So actually, we're going to start with Rachel. And she's looking at me going, oh no, don't start with me. So Rachel, what's your top tips for coming to Disney?
I'd say if you're on a budget, buy your drinks and bring them with you because that can be very expensive.
Yeah.
That was my number 1 tip.
Number 1 tip there.
Yeah.
Ian.
My biggest tip is download and use the Disneyland Paris app. You can get yourself all around the park, you can book things, and the biggest thing is you can look at park ride wait times.
And you can change all your bookings.
You can regularly, yeah, we tried that today.
Yeah, we've had a bit of changing of bookings today, but that's another story.
That is another story.
And Kaz, for you.
Don't plan too much because your plans, as we've discovered today, could change within minutes or seconds.
Good point. Don't overstretch yourself.
Yes, definitely. Don't be afraid if you're getting tired to say, I need a rest.
And I think mine is, again, based on today, is ignore your wife's version of the weather forecast. Because if she says it's going to be fine all day, check the weather forecast yourself because today it rained and I got wet.
In my defence, it didn't say it was going to rain, and I think Ian will back me up on that one.
Boys versus girls.
Yeah, boys versus girls.
Boys versus girls.
I did check the weather forecast.
All right, I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah, the weather forecast said it was all
did
right.
say it was all right, so...
I don't know which weather forecast you were watching. Anyway, yeah, I got wet today. So one of the things I do want to talk about is bags.
Don't call them
Oh,
that.
yeah. Wifey, you're taking a bag. Can you put this in it, please?
Yeah,
Even though he has his own lounge fly bag.
I'm saying nothing to that one. When you bring bags into the park, there's a couple of things you have to know. One of which is they're always going to get searched or at least put through X-ray. So don't bring anything you shouldn't. And if you go and look at the Disneyland website, there's going to be a list of things you can't bring in. However, stick everything in your bag because at least then you've only got one thing to get X-rayed. They look at it and go, yeah, whatever. But equally, if you're traveling as a party, have a designated bag carrier because then you don't have to get delayed by endless bags.
Or if you can have it going with a wifey, just get her to carry it.
You're the designated bag carrier. And what was it you said to me about bags? One of the most important things?
Size matters.
Yeah, and have enough space to put all the extra things in.
Or you could do what I did today, which is put a shopping bag in your bag, because one thing they do in Disney, especially in France, not so much in Disney in the States, they do actually charge you for the shopping bag.
Which
and
is
they
why
always
we
try
buy...
and push you to get the bigger one, and they keep putting the prices up.
But it doesn't stop you buying extra shopping bags.
No.
Because we have more shopping bags here than we came with.
Yeah.
Because you bought shopping bags.
Yep.
Do you collect shopping bags?
They're great for going to Tesco's.
I'd say that. They're good for going to Tesco's.
Do you collect shopping bags?
Other shops are available.
Other supermarkets are also good for taking Disney bags too. And it's always great because you get people look at you as you go around the supermarket going, oh, Disney bag, and you're in Aldi.
Or Asda.
Or Asda.
Other supermarkets are available.
Exactly. Other supermarket chains are available.
Neither of those we actually shop in.
I go to Aldi.
Once in a blue moon.
I like the middle aisle.
So what do you carry in your bag then, Kaz?
In my bag,
Apart from everything that you keep telling me that I put in there.
All right, apart from Mr. Disney's sunglasses, spare batteries, I carry in my park bag my autograph book for character signing. I have my purse. I have a little small pouch which has got in it what I call my medical essentials. So I've got some painkillers, some blasters, some hand sanitizer, some lip balm, addicted to Disney business cards, mittens because at the moment it's a bit nippy of a night. Normally on a normal park day, they're the main things I'll have in my park bag. Oh, and my sunglasses.
And your camera.
And my camera, yes. When Mr. Disney is not pinching it out my bag and doing videos.
And what else should you have in there, but you didn't have today?
Poncho.
Well, you didn't actually bring a poncho today. Okay, that would have been useful.
You said you didn't want one.
You're supposed to know these things.
So, Ian, what's in your part bag? Come on, put me to shame.
Excuse me, you haven't finished. What did you miss today?
I forgot to put my ears on when
Yes,
I left.
Kaz, addicted to Disney, forgot park ears, and she forgot the number one rule. You are not allowed in a Disney park, especially if you're an influencer, unless you've got Disney ears on. However...
It gives me an excuse to go buy some more.
Exactly.
Always time to go shopping, girls. Those Disney ears are in the parks for a reason.
So, Rachel, what do you... And it doesn't... Forgetting anything that's personal and you don't want to tell anyone about, what do you actually carry in your bag?
But like my autograph book, drink, and a pen. My little medical things are ibuprofen, paracetamol, plasters, a drink, and my wallet. Because I have a bag carrier. What carries the rest?
The mule.
The mule. I think
my
this
shopping
means,
bag.
I think this means Ian is the designated bag carrier for that side of the...
I am the mule. Yeah, my bag has a bit of everything. Ex-squaddy, I like to carry things for every eventuality. So I'll have lots of fluids, normally 4 drinks. I'll have ponchos, I'll have meds, I'll have little bags of Haribo in case Rachel needs a little perk me up. I've got my passports in my bag because they stay with me all the time. I don't leave them in the room. And in winter, I'll have warm gear, including hand warmers as well.
So no poncho, no hexi stove.
They won't let me through with the hexi stove. I'll take one if I could. I have 2 corporate bin bags, I call them. Two of those little disposable ponchos, just in case. And that leaves me lots of room in my bag for Rachel's shopping, which I inevitably end up hoofing around the park for her.
Today we decided to use what's the official term for
the shopping service.
The shopping service, where basically you have to spend €50.
Yeah.
And you can get it shipped back to your Disney hotel.
Now, Disney, if you're listening, can we have the shopping service back in Walt Disney World as well, please? Because it makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, and all I can say to that, doing the Disney shopping service, it was a big relief for me.
Because
it meant I didn't have to carry it all. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it was a big stitch.
It was a big stitch.
Big stitch.
Now, before everyone thinks that I just load everything onto the Kaz, I will actually now give you my tip, which is you don't need to carry a bag. What you need, if you're a gentleman, and I think probably for a lady as well, is big pockets or combats. Yep. So I carry a notepad, a camera, my phone, my wallet, and potentially a drink and my sunglasses in either my leg pockets or my combats, or I've got a hoodie which has got like a kangaroo pouch, so I can get everything in there.
Or he's got a wifey's handbag.
Well, that's for the emergency
the overflow.
That's the overflow
That's the emergency overflow facility.
I will point out that there was, on the last trip we did to Walt Disney World, it's, wifey, can I put my hat in your bag now, please?
Well, I would have taken my rain mat today and put it in your bag, but 1, there wasn't any space, and 2, you told me I didn't need a rain mat because it wasn't going to rain. And it peed down.
It did.
That's because the rain is French.
It is because we are French. Okay, so now going on my list, because my list is carrying on. I'm interested. What's your top rides? In fact, I'm not just going to ask what your top rides. I want you to name the top 3 in reverse order and give reasons why.
Does it have to be Disneyland Paris or can it be any Disney?
No, it has to be Disneyland Paris because we're currently in the Santa Fe in Disneyland Paris. So, Kaz.
Top 3 rides in Disneyland Paris.
In reverse order.
In reverse order. It's put me on the spot now.
I know, it's quite hard.
Because I do like all the rides. I'd say number 3 is Phantom Manor because although this time it didn't happen, normally we get stuck on it. Number 2, I really like Pirates of the Caribbean. And then number 1, I don't really have a top favourite ride here. If I am put on the spot and I'm getting glared at, so I've got to give at least one of them number 1, it's probably going to be a tie between Hyperspace Mountain and Flight Force.
Ooh, good choice.
Which one's Flight Force?
The one that was Rock and Roller Coaster. The one that you won't talk to me about going on.
No comment.
Acquired taste.
Very much acquired taste. Okay, Rachel, what's your top 3 in reverse order?
Okay, so I say Peter Pan. I like Peter Pan. Buzz Lightyear and Autopia.
Why those 3?
I don't know. I just like them.
They're fun, aren't they?
They're fun.
And you like the control element of Autopia and terrifying me.
Yes, yeah, that is fun. I do have to admit that.
It's great fun.
I like that. So, but like Kaz, I like all the rides.
Okay, Ian, what's your top 3?
Mine 3 would be Buzz Lightyear Laser Blast. Love that. The colours on it just pop and it's so much fun. Number 2 would be Star Tours. I love the fact that every time you go on, you get something slightly different and it's fun. And I remember when it first opened, it was a trip to Endor. And that was a lot of fun. Number 1 is probably Big Thunder Mountain. There's lots of fun things to see while you're on it. Top tip, do it at night because the mountain, when it's lit up, looks incredible.
It does.
And it's a good rush. It's a good ride.
You're a adrenaline junkie, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm definitely not an adrenaline junkie.
No, and I've had great fun so far because I've been able to release my inner adrenaline junkie.
She went on Tower of Terror.
What do you call
And
it?
Space Mountain.
Tower poop.
We also call it the Tower of Poop.
I did not go on Tower of Terror.
No.
So my top 3 in reverse order. Oh, that's an interesting one.
It is.
Yeah.
Probably number 3 would be Small World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why. I just like Small World. I can't stand the song.
He loves Small World.
Well, yeah, that's why it's in my top 3 as number 3. Number 2, I think, would probably be Buzz Lightyear.
Only because he cheats.
How do you cheat on Buzz Lightyear?
He waits till I've got targets and then he spins me around in circles.
But I'm shooting the same targets.
He cheats.
What she actually means is every single time, even though it's a, quote, a rematch, unquote, I seem to get more than hers.
Grudge match is the term.
Oh, grudge match.
That's okay. Next time when I lose, there's no doubt I will, you're coming on Space Mountain.
Ooh.
I guarantee next time, in that case, you will not
You
lose.
win.
Because I'll just sit there pointing it at the sky. Which is actually what you normally do, it seems. But anyway.
It's not my fault. I love Buzz Lightyear, but the problem is when you get to a certain point and the song starts playing, I just start singing.
And it puts her aim out.
Yep.
So my top 1... Actually, there's going to be a joint top 1.
Oh, you didn't say we could have joint
Oh,
first.
well, I make the rules. I think it's going to be very close between Pirates
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Phantom Manor.
Good choice.
Good choice.
And I actually think I prefer Phantom Manor in the UK over Phantom Manor in the US.
No, I'm the opposite. I like Haunted Mansion over Phantom Manor because the hitchhiking ghost scene in the loft of Haunted Mansion is really cool and you get the Hatbox Ghost.
No comment. So, okay, we've done our top 5 rides. So, okay, we've done our top 3 rides. What's your top restaurant?
Ooh.
Oh.
And I'm going to do this one in reverse this time.
Ooh.
So, Ian, what's your top restaurant
Mine.
and why?
Right. My top restaurant is Waltz. I like the tie-in between the history of the company and the parks, and the food is out of this world. Good options, and the food is beautiful, good service, and it's like stepping back in time. I like that one.
And what's your food options in terms of Waltz?
Waltz, chicken pot pie for starters, a nice cold drink, the chili for the main, and I have the sundae, which is an array of different ice creams.
Do you actually know the story behind the chili?
I do.
Yes.
Yeah, Walt used to come in from work and he'd eat his chili from a tin, which is why it's served in a ceramic tin.
Yeah.
And it's little touches like that with the menu and the way it's themed that makes it extra special.
It's certainly not stag chili, though.
No.
For those of you who aren't in the UK, stag chili is a tinned chili that you can get in the UK, which is very chili-like, but there's some question mark over exactly what meat is in there.
Yeah, meat nondescript.
It's very cheap. Yes, meat nondescript. And if anyone from Stag Chili is listening to this podcast, it's a fantastic product and I'd love you to sponsor me. However, yeah, there is, I think it's the meat content. It's just meat. It's like, what type of meat? You don't need to know. It's just meat. And who am I going to pick on there? Rachel.
I'd say the Nets. Again, I love its 1950s themed diner. Lovely food, lovely staff.
Big portions.
And big portions.
Yeah, I think there was definitely the American concept.
Yeah, definitely.
here's a burger and chips.
Yeah.
Right, that's my entire calorific intake for the next month.
Yep.
Although there were too many screaming kids. So, Kaz.
I don't actually have one.
Oh.
I like all of them.
It's Hyperion it is then.
No. Restaurant, which is my favourite restaurant. Well, I'm going to be biased because we've literally just eaten there. We've just been in the Disneyland Hotel. We've just been in the reimagined Inventions, which is now Royal Banquet. Buffet. It's all you can eat buffet with characters, and basically we've just had the best time. So I do like character dining. So for me, I think it's just going to really be any character dining, but I did really enjoy Royal Banquet.
Okay, I think mine's going to dovetail with Ian. It's waltz. It's waltz. Waltz. Waltz, waltz, and waltz.
Waltz and all.
Waltz and all.
It's a hidden gem.
It is a hidden gem. It's quiet. Even when they've got kids around, the restaurant itself is just nice and quiet and quite sedate. And if you're lucky, you can get a window seat and you can actually see the parades, which we've managed to do a couple of times. But the quality of food and the quality of service is really nice. For me, I would go for the soup, which is corn with popcorn, which is quite a strange combination, but it's a really nice combination. And chili, and then I've chopped and changed because I tend to be a dessert person, but I've chopped and changed on my desserts. And I think the ice cream actually is probably the nicest one. So, yeah, that's waltz for me. So I'm going to throw everything on its head now. And this is the bit where we now get thrown out of Disney. What's the worst restaurant you've been in on property? So, Kaz?
Easy.
What's the worst one I've been in? It's going to be...
And why?
Hyperion, because I've eaten there twice. The service hasn't been great. And I'm sorry, if you're having hot chocolate, it's got to be hot chocolate, not water with a hint of chocolate.
It's got to have an element of chocolate, hasn't
It's
it?
definitely got to have
Not just hot water.
And not just brown.
Yeah.
Can I have a cup of brown, please?
I'll be worried if it's brown.
Hot chocolate is brown.
Yeah, but if it's just brown water, you don't actually know if it is hot chocolate.
You don't want to know.
Okay, Rachel.
Again, Hyperion. The service is not always great, and the hot chocolate is like water, like sludge, and it's just a lot better restaurant.
I'm pretty sure they get the hot chocolate out the water in Pirates.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Anyone who's actually ridden in Pirates, please do not drink the water.
No.
Not a good
Yo
idea.
ho, no ho, don't drink me.
Yes, okay. So we got 2 votes for Hyperion. Ian.
Yeah, everyone's looking at me now because I'm the one responsible for the nondescript brown-looking water. And I'm going to vote for Hyperion as well. I queued for an hour to get some hot chocolate that wasn't hot and it wasn't chocolate. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't Disney hot
Brown
chocolate.
liquid.
Yeah, it was on one of the special nights they have over here.
The Halloween party.
I missed the show because I was in a queue.
Was it the Halloween? No, it was the annual pass
It
party.
was the
because
annual
me and
pass
Jenny
party.
were here.
Yeah.
So I queued for an hour, missed the stage show, and when I really impressed with myself, I finally got what I came here for, took it to the table, and it was horrible. So yeah, Hyperion. Bit of background story, Hyperion is the cheapest option in Disneyland, so it tends to be the busiest. So there's always massive queues there, but the ordering system they have in place needs looking at. It's not really efficient.
I totally agree with you. And the food quality, that's the only one.
It is the only one that
there are
on.
quite a few places like Hyperion in the parks, but that's the only one I would say the service and the food is just not.
The others have got a lot better service.
Well, I'm going to break the chain here because it's not Hyperion.
Oh.
Because the only time I've ever eaten a Hyperion, it wasn't too bad. But I think, for me personally, the only time I've eaten there, it was atrocious.
I know what's coming.
Was actually Remy, because we were stuck in a table out to one side. The service was appalling. The steak was disgusting. And I'm sorry, but although everyone goes on about French food, the French do not know how to do steak.
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu.
And chamois leather.
Actually, I remember that meal, and it was... Everyone had hyped up saying, yep, Chez Remy, you're going to really enjoy it. We've been looking forward to it all day. And you walk into the restaurant. The restaurant is beautiful. Please don't get me wrong. The restaurant's beautiful. You've got all the lovely scenery and plates, and they tell you you're being shrunk down to the size of the rat. And then you end up being saying, well, I could only decide as being the dining room of your local school.
Yeah, we weren't even in the bit that actually had all the theming. We were off to one side. It was all rushed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one thing, slightly digressing slightly, one thing I do not like that Disney do is this concept of, and they've just changed it as well for the worst, is meals, you only have one drink. And nowadays, that one drink on some of the meal plans, you now have to pay extra for. It's like, what happened? The drink is the cheapest thing. Yep. We go into our local Harvester and they have all you can drink for like £4 or £5, and you can go and do it yourself and press the button and you get your drink out. I like to stay hydrated. I want to have a drink.
Yeah.
And when I say drink, I'm talking about soft drinks here, not alcohol drinks. But they do here's a small glass of Coke and that's it.
I think part of it is in France there is a sugar rule, and that's one of the other reasons you don't get refillable beverages like you do in the American parks and American resorts where you can get resort mugs. They try not to encourage you to drink too much sugary stuff.
Well, there is an answer to that.
You drink the vine.
No, the answer is the same thing they do in the UK, is they actually separate the fact that they're sugar-free and they're not sugar-free. So you turn around and go, okay, fine, if you want Coke, you've got to have bottled Coke and we're going to charge you for it.
Yeah, but if
you want unlimited bottomless, then you can go to a freestyle machine and you can get
the diet version.
I was going to say, if they had the system in France as they've got in America with the resort mugs, that would work really, really, really well.
That is frustrating with meals where you just get a little drink.
Yeah.
That is.
And they used to be included in the meal, but now you even pay extra for those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's for...
It's literally come in the last 10, 15 days. So it really has just come in recently. So if you have bought a meal plan and you're listening to it and you haven't done your trip yet, be advised that now for your sit-down meals, you do actually have to pay extra for your drink, even if you've booked it at the point when they said your drink was included. Taking away the drink at the meals, at the sit-downs, I do think is taking away some of the service and some of the options you now have with the meal plans.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
So last thing on the list, because I've run out of list things now, is what's your favourite parade or show?
That is very, very difficult. I'm going to have to say two. Mickey the Magician in the studios is incredible. That's a firm favourite of me, and I tend to go there every time we come over. But last night I watched the electric drone show over the castle, and that blew me away. That was incredible.
Literally left you speechless, didn't
it? It did, yeah. So joint two for me, I'm afraid.
That's because there wasn't any wind last night.
No, that's right. Oh, there was a chili was involved.
We shall not mention
we
the chili.
We don't talk about chili.
No.
Rachel?
I would say the electrical drone show. Yeah. It was absolutely amazing. And the show, I would say the Lion King show. It was brilliant.
Enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Kaz?
Show-wise, my favourite, I'm another one, Mickey and the Magician, without a doubt. It is just one of those shows I love. If I could sit in the audience all day on a wet day and watch it, I would. And parade, I actually really like the current Christmas parade. They're doing Christmas is Here with the train and the new floats, because it takes on two dynamics. You have a daytime version and a nighttime version. And because they've incorporated the stage shops as well, I think that just gives it that little bit more of a wow factor.
And I'm last. So I think I'm going to go for... It's either going to be Mickey and the Magician or The Lion King. But I think The Lion King probably has it for me. I mean, they're both really, really powerful shows. And we've seen The Lion King on stage in London, and we've seen videos of The Lion King in the US, and it doesn't compare to the stage show in London. It's actually far better than the stage show in London, which is all sort of semi-arty-farty. And the one thing that I keep seeing on the US one is they're using handheld microphones. I just cannot see how you can do a stage show where... What's the character I'm thinking of? The one with the big stick.
Rafiki.
I can't see how you can do a show where you have a character like Rafiki who's got this big stick and is emoting and gesticulating, and the emotion from their singing that's coming out. But they're going to be holding one with a stick and the other hand's holding a microphone. It just doesn't work. Give them headset microphones. Yeah. Everyone else on the planet, even the local high school, when they do their High School Musical thing, will have headset microphones. It allows the actor to emote. And yeah, Lion King is really, really powerful. And Mickey and the Magician, actually, I really do like. They've really, that's true Disney.
Yeah. It's got that magic element. Yeah. Literally. Literally.
And the fact that they sort of do it in English and French it doesn't make any difference. I see people complaining and going, they should do it in English.
No.
It's like, well, firstly, you're in France. So have some respect for the fact that you're in France. Maybe, shock horror, learn French.
a bit, yeah.
Because we've gone into restaurants and my French is appalling. I did schoolboy O-level French years and years ago. And when you turn around to someone and say, I can speak a tiny, tiny little bit of French, they're like, oh, well.
Yeah.
They're really sort of happy the fact that you've even made that attempt. And it's quite embarrassing, the fact we don't speak there's many languages as the crew.
Absolutely.
As many languages as the cast do. Anyway, I'd like to thank Ian and Rachel for joining us on a fantastic trip to Disneyland Paris.
It's been brilliant.
It has been
amazing.
brilliant. It's been interesting. It's been fun. It's been informative. It's just been fantastic. And
Lots of firsts.
Lots of firsts. Doing Disney with friends is the way to do Disney.
Definitely.
So anyway, thank you guys.
You are welcome.
It's been a
Thank you.
privilege.
No, thank you. It has been so fun.
And thank you for joining me on my podcast. When you rock up to a Disney establishment and you dig out a mixer and pod lights and things, you go, I'd like to do a podcast. And they're like, okay. You just have that sense of, what on earth is he on?
That's because you're an influencer.
Oh, I mean,
An influencer.
Influenza, yeah.
That's because I've been accused of being an influencer.
No, it's been great, guys, and thank you. And thank you also for agreeing to be part of these 2 podcasts with Disney with Friends, because, as Wayne has said, coming to Disney with Friends takes the trips to a whole new dynamic, and it's just really good fun.
Now, where's my fee?
Where's your fee? Anyway, thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget this is a podcast, so if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, then hopefully you can leave reviews and all that stuff. But whatever you do, please enjoy yourself, have fun, and this is Addicted to Disney.
Bye.
Bye. This podcast has been brought to you by Addicted to Disney. We have no affiliation to Disney, apart from the fact we spend lots of money at Disney. We'd also like to be sponsored by Disney if they'd like to, but unfortunately they're not going to. Also, not sponsored by Mr. Kipling's, who make exceedingly good cakes.